Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Fiberflux. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this pretty and cheerful little pencil case. It has a drawstring tie top that we've made with a simple crochet chain, and then I've added some beads just to make it extra special. We are going to be working in the back loops only to create these fun and pretty little ridges throughout the pencil case. For this project, you'll need a 5mm H crochet hook, you'll need a pair of scissors, you'll need a tapestry needle, and you'll need a tape measure. I have some pencils in here, and you'll need a pencil or a pen or whatever you're going to be putting in your case also to help you determine how tall you want your pencil case to be. The yarn I used is Red Heart Super Saver. This is a worsted weight yarn, very inexpensive, comes in a lot of bright, pretty colors that I used to make the stripes. You'll also need, as an option, you don't have to add these, but you can also put some beads on your little drawstring tie. I use 10 pony beads. These are just little plastic craft beads you can find very easily in the craft store, and I use 10 of them, and they happen to also be the same colors as my stripes. So let's get started. To begin our pencil case, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. So wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop. Bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your crochet hook, and bring up the loop. Next, we're going to chain 4. To make a chain, wrap the yarn around the hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to create a ring, and that's where we're going to be working all of our stitches into. So insert the hook into the farthest chain from the hook, the chain that you first made, and bring up a loop. Bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. So we're going to join with a slip stitch to make a ring. We have this tail here. We're going to hold along the edge as we work, and that way it'll get woven in as we go along. So let's begin round 1. We're going to work the base of our pencil case and go from the bottom up, okay? So we're going to chain 4 to begin round 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will count as one of our double crochets. So next we're going to work 11 double crochets into the center of the ring. I wanted to mention as a side note, if you prefer the magic ring technique instead, I can link the video up. I have a video on magic ring if you prefer that or want to practice. Just work a magic ring and do 12 double crochets into your magic ring. And I'll link up the video to the magic ring technique if you would like to do that instead. But we're going to chain 4 and then work 11 double crochets into the center. So to make a double crochet, wrap the yarn around the hook, insert the hook into the center of the ring, and bring up a loop. Wrap yarn around the hook, bring it through the first 2 loops. Wrap yarn around the hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. So that's 1, 2, 3, again holding this tail, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay? So then we're going to, this chain 4 we did at the beginning of the round, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 chains up and join to close with a slip stitch. So insert the hook, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. Round 1 is complete. So what I like to do is take this tail that we've been weaving in and just pull it tight and then trim. That way it's not in the way when you're trying to work. Okay? So we're still working on the base of our pencil case. We're going to do one more round and then we're going to start building up the sides. Okay? So let's move on to round 2. So for round 2, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then in the first stitch, we're going to work a double crochet. Then in the next stitch, we're going to work 2 double crochets. in the same stitch. So work 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochet, just like that. So we're going to do that for each stitch all the way around. 2 double crochets in each stitch. Okay, I'm going to continue working 2 double crochets in each stitch, and then towards the end of this round, we'll rejoin, and I'll show you how to close the round and move on to the next round. So I'm just working that last double crochet, and then I'm going to join where we began. Count 3 chains up, join with a slip stitch to close the round. So the base of our pencil case is complete, and now we can start building up the sides. I made this base a little wide for just a few pencils, but that way you can fit several in there and maybe some other little things, maybe like even a small pair of scissors. Okay, so we're just going to cut because we're going to switch colors. Now I made the base all one color, and then I'm going to do up the sides, I'm going to do 1 round of each color. However, use whatever you have on hand. If you want to just do 2 colors or do more of a color block, it's totally up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and switch colors for our next round. So I've gathered up all the colors I want. I'm going to do pink, yellow, purple, blue, and green, sort of rainbowy. And I'm going to do yellow first. So we're going to be working into the back loops, and that'll give that decorative ridge. You can work into the stitches if you just want smooth stripes, but I'm going to make mine a little bit textured. So what you want to do when you tie each color on is tie it into the back loops. So when you do that first chain 3 of each round, you will it'll look more uniform to the rest of the stitches when you tie the yarn into the back loops, okay? So I just inserted my hook into the back loops, and I'm going to bring up the new color and then just tie it right on. And we're going to weave the ends in as we go so that we won't have to do it at the end. Okay, so I have my yellow tail, I have my blue tail, and we're just going to hold those along the edge as we work. So reinsert the hook back into that same stitch and bring up a loop. Okay, then you're going to chain 3. 1, whoops, that's 1, 2, and 3. Then you'll work a double crochet into the back loops only of each stitch all the way around. Okay, so what you're going to do is wrap yarn around hook, insert it into the back loops, bring up a loop, and then do your double crochet as you normally would. Yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops, okay? Holding these tails as we go. Now I want to show you, if we look at our circle, we have the stitch here and it has 2 loops at the top. We're going to be working into the back loops only, leaving, when you leave this front loop unworked, it'll create this really nice little ridge in your work. Again, just working it into the stitches will just give you a smoother fabric. So either way, I'm going to work into the back loops though. So wrap yarn around hook, insert it into the back loops, bring up a loop, yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. So we're just working 1 double crochet in the back loops all the way around. And this is going to start to build up our sides. And also, I wanted to mention this pencil case, you can also use it for other little things. You can use it for small toys. You could use it for even like cosmetic brushes. You can use it, you can make it taller and make it so that it can fit a ruler as well. So you can use it for lots of things. So I'm just going to keep working 1 double crochet in the back loops, and we'll rejoin in just a moment, and I'll tell you how to close this round and start the next round. So if you look, we're starting to get some sides on our pencil case. Okay, so I'm just working that very last double crochet of our round, again into the back loops, and we have arrived where we began. So we're just going to join with a slip stitch to close the round. Okay, so to finish your pencil case, this yellow row we just did, you're just going to keep repeating that over and over and over until your pencil case is as tall as you need it to be. I'm going to show you how to start the next round, and then we'll rejoin towards the top of our pencil case. So just fasten off in the yellow. Now there's lots of ways to join yarn I wanted to mention. I like to just cut it and join, just tie the new color right on. So, but there are other ways, and if you have a preferred method, definitely feel free to do that. So I'm going to go with this bright pink next. So I'm just going to insert my hook into the back loops like I did before, bring the new yarn through, and just tie it right on, just like that. Okay? So I just tied the pink right on, and again, we're just repeating exactly what we did for the yellow round. So insert your hook back into the stitch, and remember the back loops, bring up the new color, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and again, we're just going to work a double crochet into the back loops only. 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. And again, I'm holding these yarn tails along the edge as I work so that they can get woven in as we go. And that will save you a ton of time at the end of your project when you're finishing up. Okay, so I'm just doing 1 double crochet in the back loops only of each stitch. So we're going to continue. I'm going to continue building some height on my pencil case, and then when we get towards the top, we'll rejoin again and I'll show you what to do next. So I went ahead and worked more rounds using one of my pencils as a guide to get the height that I wanted. So just keep working more rounds, and if you have a pencil or pens or something, or even a ruler that's much taller than this, just use that as a guide, and every so often just put the pencil in there and see how it's working out. So I worked the last round in blue, and I fastened it off, cut the yarn, so I just have a little tail. So I'm going to take my tapestry needle and thread it, and then just turn it inside out a little bit, and then I'm going to keep this blue tail in the blue section of this pencil case. So I'm just going to weave in one direction with my tapestry needle, and then I'm going to come back in the other direction, and then just take the scissors and trim. Now, the drawstring part of our pencil case, if you like it like this, fine, you can just leave it. But if you want to add a drawstring to it, which I do, we're going to grab just one color and just make a simple chain, and then we'll be adding our little beads to the bottom of the 2 ties. So what we're going to do is just grab any color you like. I'm going to grab this bright pink because I just really love this color, and I am going to make a chain that's about 12 inches long. So what you can do is just, with the same size hook, just make a slip knot on your hook, and then just make a chain that's about 12 inches long, okay? So to make a chain, just wrap yarn around hook and bring it through the loop. So we're just going to go ahead and make a chain. And I'm going to continue with my chain and we'll rejoin in just a moment. So I'm just finishing my chain, and if you have a tape measure, it might be helpful at this point. So you can just kind of hold it up and see if you're along those lines. About 12 inches is fine, give or take. And then you can just cut the yarn, go ahead and fasten off, and then we're ready to add it to our pencil case. So you're just going to leave the tails on at this point, and then take one of the tails, and we can get some of our tools out of the way so you can see what we're doing. Put this tape measure away. So we have our pencil case. Now we didn't make holes to work the drawstring into, but we really don't need them because the worsted weight yarn is thick enough, and the spaces in between our double crochets are, the holes they create are big enough for our little drawstring to fit through. So we didn't weave in the tails or anything yet. So what we're going to do is take our yarn and thread it onto the tapestry needle. And then you can go a couple rows down. I'm going to go about rounds. I'm going to go about 3 rounds down, okay? So what you're going to do is, starting from the back, just go in, skip over a few stitches. See, I'm going in, I'm going under about 3 stitches or so. Go under, pull it all the way, go over 3 stitches, under 3 stitches, and then just do this till you get to the front. Go over and over 3 stitches and then up. Just like that. You want it to come out at a certain point. So then you can do that to the other side. If you need them to come together a little bit more, just thread your tapestry needle and then go over 3 stitches and then up. See how my little drawstring meets in the middle, okay? So then you can just, when you use your pencil case, you can just tighten it like this and tie it. Okay, so now we're ready to add the beads. We can move our yarn and our pencil helpers there. Get all of our tools out of the way. So I am using these, like I mentioned before, are called pony beads. You can find them usually in the kids craft section. And they're just plastic little craft beads. And the reason I chose them is because they actually had the exact, I got like a mixed color kind of set in a big container. They're very inexpensive. They're just plastic. They have a large opening that's perfect for getting yarn into. And the colors that I chose, this was the neon set that I got at the craft store. They're the exact colors of our stripes. So it worked out really nicely to match what we're making here. So all you're going to do is I counted out a pink for each tie, a blue, a green, a yellow, and an orange. This is actually kind of a greenish neon yellow, but anyway. So what I'm going to do is just string them on, and you can do them in a rainbow sequence, or you can do them kind of in the same order as your stripes if you're feeling really creative. So just string those on to the tails. See how and then they can just go right up against where we began the chain. So let's see, we did in our stripe sequence, we have pink next, so let's put a pink bead. Now I wanted to mention too, you can use any beads you like. Just make sure that the opening of your bead will fit onto, through this yarn. And these have such a large opening, I don't even need to use a tapestry needle. So what we're gonna do, we got our beads on there. It's looking very colorful, and these almost have like a candy coated look to them as well. So these are really fun and bright beads. You can even find, if you go to the craft store, you can find little beads that glow in the dark. You could use alphabet beads or what have you. So I'm just going to tie a few knots on here, and then we're going to string the next side. So I went ahead and did both sides, tied a knot in both, and I had to, as you can see, I had to tie a really large knot because these beads have such a large opening. So when you're finished, you can just trim that yarn tail. And to keep your knot, this is just a side note, to keep your knot from undoing itself, you can dab a tiny little bit of clear nail polish onto your knot, and that'll keep your knot in place and keep it from coming apart. So then what you can do is put your pencils. I just have a few colored pencils here that kind of matched. You can put your pencils in there and just tighten it up. You can tie it like this into a little bow if you like. And this, because we did a chain, it's very stretchy. So it makes a nice little tie. So you can just tie a little bow on there. And it looks so fun and colorful, and it's perfect little handmade gift for sending your favorite little student to school, and they'll feel so loved having a little handmade pencil case at their desk. As a side note, and I'll provide the link to this, I have the tail on here because I'm going to sew it on. This is a 1 round heart. This is one of my free patterns on the Fiberflux blog. I also have a video, and I will provide the link within this video that you can click on. You can add a little heart applique just to show you care and just make it an extra special handmade gift. So that is how you crochet the candy striped pencil case. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for watching. And definitely be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiberflux video updates. Thanks again.